Namaste everyone. Welcome back to online classes of Vivekananda PU College. I am Suprit KC. As we are discussing about biodiversity in biology, in previous class, we have discussed how do you define biodiversity as well as the classifications or the types of biodiversity. What are the examples you can give under different types? And even we have started the pattern of biodiversity, latitudinal gradient. We have studied. In a latitudinal gradient, we have studied different counts of organisms, different numbers of organisms, and even we have studied how beautiful is Amazon rainforest, what are the number of organisms is sustained by those area, how the tropical system is working out, why this tropical region containing a huge biodiversity, all those things we have seen. Okay. Dear students, why this tropical region having a great biodiversity? Because there are three main reasons. I am starting from there. Okay. Why this tropical region is included a huge number of biodiversity, huge number of species. Why? What is the reason? The point number one, this region, what we are referring as the tropical region, this region remain undisturbed for several years. Okay, they are undisturbed for several years, so that there will be a constant environment as well as there is a great evolutionary time. Okay, huge evolutionary time. Because of this huge evolutionary time, these are all the organisms received a great time for its maximum expansion as well as variation. Okay, maximum expansion as well as variation. Because of that, there is a great number of species there. They are undisturbed for several period of time. Okay. Because of that, we can see maximum number, different species in that place. The second point, the environment which hold by this rainforest or the tropical region, they are less seasonal. Okay, they are less seasonal. Means what? Less seasonal andre enu? Means there is no particular distinct season. Okay, in this region the rain is only occurring. This is the season sunlight only penetrating hardly. No, there is nothing like that. There is a less seasonal, the place where we are referring to, they are less seasonal. Means there is no particular distinct season. Anytime a huge rain occurs, anytime you can feel the hardness of the sunlight, anytime snow may occur. Okay, this is the time. Anytime may you have a variation in the humidity. We cannot say there is a particular distinct time. Fine. They are less seasonal. Because of the term known to be the less seasonal, the environment is constant and predictable. The environment are constant and predictable. Constant and predictable. Constant and predictable. I repeat, the first point, they received huge evolutionary time as well as they are less seasonal, nothing but there is no particular distinct season, which result in the term known to be the constant and predictable environment it holds with. Because of that, they are consisting huge number of different species. Fine. This is the two reasons. Another one reason we have, dear students, This region, what we are referring as a tropical region, is receiving, what it is receiving? Receiving a great sunlight. Okay, receiving great sunlight. So every day these organisms are receiving the sunlight. Because of that, there is a huge productivity, maximum productivity we can expect. Maximum productivity we can expect. Productivity we can expect. Because of this maximum productivity, producer level is stable. Okay. When the producer level is so stable, all the organisms which are depending on the production level, they are also stable. Okay. I repeat, because of the availability of a great sunlight in the tropical region, okay, the production or the producing level is so stable. When the production level is so stable, when the production is taking place efficiently, then consumption level, who is depending on the producer level, also stable. Yes, you got my point? When the consumption level is so stable, food chain is, it is working efficiently, food chain after food web, then into biogeochemical cycle also. This is the way the Amazon rainforest, known to be having a great biodiversity in world, or this tropical region is having a great biodiversity pattern because of all these reasons. I hope you have received all these points. Great evolutionary time, fine. Because of the great evolution, there is a huge expansion as well as variation. Then they are less seasonal, constant, predictable. Sunlight is more, maximum productivity, production level stable. All those are organisms living very comfortable life there. This is the three reasons why your tropical region is holding a great biodiversity. Fine. This is included in a pattern of biodiversity. That is the first one, in last class we have discussed, right? The first point, latitudinal gradient. In latitudinal gradient, these points are covered. Now we are stepping into the very interesting as well as very important too, species area relationship. Species area relationship. Okay, fine. Let us see that. What is species area relationship? Species area relationship. Species area relationship. Fine. Are you people ready? Thank you. In a species area relationship, if we want to know about this, then you must know, dear students, what you mean by species richness as well as how area is in connection with this species. You must know that. Okay. Even before defining the species richness, okay, I must remember one great name here. His name is Alexander von Humboldt. Alexander von Humboldt. He is a great naturalist as well as a geographical scientist. Okay. He is very interested in ecology. He has done many surveys and observed many patterns of life in a particular area. He has given a great statement. Okay. That statement included something called as a species richness as well as the correlation with the area. What it is? What did he said? Dear students, he mentioned one particular region, a particular area where he started to keep on observing what are the patterns of life happening and even what are the process is happening there. All he has observed and given a statement. It states that in a particular region, okay, in a particular region, species richness, okay, species richness increases with increasing area, or as expanding area. He states that in a particular region where we are referring, the species richness increases, fine, with the increasing its area. Okay. The species richness is known to be what are the types of organism living in a particular ground, that's all. Species richness is nothing but what are the organism living in a particular ground is known to be the species richness. Different of many species if a particular ground holds with, then I can say this is the area where I can see maximum number of species. That is the species richness. He states that if we keep on expanding area, then there will be a greater species richness. How we can witness a greater species richness in a particular ground on the basis of expansion of area? What exactly the thing is happening there? Are you people interested? Yes, let us discuss that. Dear students, you must know, if you are living in a particular area, a particular ground, you keep on expanding yourself by using all the resource from the nature that you received, right? Yes, that is the thing playing a role here. Okay. So, fine. This is the area where we are living. Okay. This is the species. There are three kind of species here. This is a small area. They are utilizing all the resource from the nature, correct? So they are living in a peaceful ground. Because of this limitation or the limited resource, they cannot expand more, right? So what they do, if I increase this area as this much, okay, only this much species I have, species number is same, but the area is little more. Okay. Now this much resource is added here, correct? This much resource is added. Because of the more resource, the organism what are all living here, they keep on expanding. Keep on expanding. Okay. The expansion will be proceeding out now. Because of those expansion, the number of organisms or the number of species is increasing. Okay. Day by day you can find the expansion. Day by day you can find out the variation. Because of this expansion I can find a great number of species richness. Species richness. Okay. If I keep on increasing the area, number of different species living in a particular region keep on expressing. Okay. Keep on expressing till one limit. You have to quote that sentence, till one limit. What is that limit? Let us find out. Okay. Dear students, before defining that limit, let us plot all the things that we have studied in a diagrammatic view. Fine. Okay. Fine. Okay. This is the graph I am plotting. graph I am plotting. This showing the area, okay, this coordinate showing the area. This will be the species richness. Species richness. This is the way. The x axis, this is y axis, this is 0. Okay. Say in my particular region, in initial time, I have a particular number of species. Say I start from here, particular number of species. Okay, I start from here. Okay, I start from here. I have a small number of organisms. At a particular area, this is my particular area, very small area, I have this much of a different species. Okay. As I increase the area, see, as I increase the area, there should be an increase in the species richness, right? As I increase the area, there should be an increase in the species richness, correct? All right. Let us see how this will go. As I increase the area, the species will take some more time to adjust with the more area, and it should adjust with all the resource provided by the nature. Okay, this is the way, and expanding more. After this, after a particular time, there is a limit where it is showing a steady phase. Okay, that is showing a steady phase. Okay, I'll draw this again. See, this is how. See, expanding more, reaching maximum. Then there is a limit, because whatever the area you have with the unlimited resource become limited because of the more and more consumption. Because of the limited resource, they will be starting limiting themselves. See, this is the way. At a particular, if I increase area as this much, see, the area as this much. What is the species richness? That is here. See, at this particular area, this much species richness I have. As I increase the area, I can see the increasing number of species richness. This much things you must know. Only this much. As I keep on increasing my area, as I expanding my region, whatever the species is living in a particular ground, it is keep on exploring, expanding. So that this is a proportionate graph. One coordinate is increasing as well as another coordinate also increasing. At particular time, at particular ground, it shows a limitation. How this shows a limitation? Dear students, you must know, when we are living in a particular geographical area, whatever the resource provided by the nature, if it is unlimited, what we organisms will do? We will keep on expanding, expressing more. So the more and more organisms we produce, because of that there will be a greater species richness, right? Exactly. But the unlimited resource provided by the nature, when it stops because of the overconsumption, okay, the unlimited resource become a limited one. When the limited resource arises, okay, organism shows a stunt growth, or the expression they will stop. Okay. So I write one equation here. If S is the area, S is the species richness, not area, sorry. This, if S denoting species, if S is a species richness, richness. Okay. Then if A is a area, then what? Species richness is directly proportional to area, right? So simple. Species richness directly proportional to the area. Okay, fine. If I remove this proportionate sign, S is equal to, there should be a constant area, correct? Area, if I need to calculate the area, there should be a slope, correct? Z is the slope. Okay, then I need to convert this rectangular hyperbola, where I can write, can I write here? Rectangular hyperbola. If I need to write this rectangular hyperbola in y equal to mx plus c form, nothing but a linear line. If I need to write it as y equal to mx plus c, then I should write it in a log scale, correct? Log scale. It should be a straight line. Log scale. Okay. Y equal to mx plus c form. I must apply log on both sides. So this equation becoming, applying log, equation becoming log s, that is equal to, this is a c constant, log c plus z log a, this is the equation. Okay, this is the equation. What is that equation? Log s equal to log c plus z log a, log s equal to log c plus z log a. There is the equation for this, for species area richness. I will explain now. Okay. Shall I erase this? Okay, fine. Here S is the species richness, C will be the y-intercept, Z known to be the slope, okay, or regression coefficient Z. Regression coefficient. The regression coefficient is almost always nearer to 0.1 to 0.2. Okay. How this is 0.1 to 0.2 means, I will draw one diagram here. I will erase this. See, this is my area where I am living. Okay. This is the area where I am living. This is another area, little expanding area from my habitat. This is another my expanding area, again from my habitat. Okay. If you say this is A, then this must be, this must C, correct? A, B, C. So simple this is. This is my habitat where I am living, okay. This is a habitat where I am enjoying all the resource and I am living a very comfortable life there in the habitat A or in my space A. If I little express or expand my area, then this is B, this is C, so simple. If I say in my area A, Okay. We are 4 in number. Okay. If I am expanding my area, if I increase my area, definitely species richness will increases, right? Okay. If my area from A to B I expand, my number will become 8. Our number will become 8. If I increase furthermore to C, what is that? It become how much? 4, 8, double 16. This is the rough calculations. Fine. So the ratios are proportionate, right? If you take a smaller ground, if you take a tropical region, if you take a polar region, whatever the ground you are referring to, almost Z value will be nearly 0.1 to 0.02. This may vary if you count or if you refer a continent, a country, okay, a great place. If you are referring like that, then this number will be different. This number will be different. Okay. If you refer your continent or country, the number may changes from 0.6 to 0.12. That much difference you have. If you take fruitivorous birds or mammals, then the count is nearly 0.15. This much. Okay. The number may vary if you take a huge ground. This is the Z value. When I am living in a our number were 4. When I am with the B, it is 8. When I am with the C, that is 16. Means what? I am expanding. But for a certain limit, correct? A limit and I should, I just referred. I used, alva. What is that limit? Limited resource, correct? If I cross the limitation, I cannot expect, I cannot predict the number of an organism, number of the species. Here in the next zone, maybe my number is limited to 20. Got my point? My number may limited to 20. This is how the species richness as well as the area, they are interconnected. Yes, this is enough for the species area relationship. Let us talk about the importance of this species diversity. Nothing but the species richness, okay, in an ecosystem or in our eco ground. Yes, importance of species diversity in ecosystem. Okay, what are the importance? What are the importance? Importance of species diversity in ecosystem. This is so simple as well as this is very important. The first one, importance of species diversity in a ecosystem. Say you have a particular ground or a particular area where you can see more and more organisms, okay, more and more organisms, nothing but the community with the more species, the community place with the more species is known to be the stable community, okay. So I can write as the community with the more species are more stable, I can say. Community with more species or area with more species are more stable. Okay. So the community with the more species, higher species, great number of species, they are more stable. Stable community, they does not allow the much variation in the productivity. Okay. These stable community, what I am referring here with the great number, okay, they will not allow much variation in a productivity. That is the second point. Stable community not allow much variation in productivity in their expression, productivity or activity, like that. Stable community does not allow much variation in the productivity or their activity. That is the second point. First thing will be, I am defining what is more stable species, and here I am describing stable community does not allow much variation, okay, they does not show much variation to the productivity. The third point, dear students, the stable community what we have referred here, they should be more resistant to the invasion of a alien species. They must be resistant to what? They must be resistant to what? To invasion of alien species. Some species may migrate or visit our habitat, known to be the alien species. If we are living here and from particular ground someone is coming here to live a life, then he or she is known to be the alien species. Like the same, if I have a stable community, then it must be resistant to the invasion of alien species. The alien species, if it is introduced or migrated in, then my potential of expression as well as expansion should not be altered by the presence of alien species. That's what I meant here. Okay, my daily activity, my productivity should not be affected by the presence of alien species. That is what this sentence says. This is the three main points: importance of species diversity in ecosystem. Let us see another 2 points. David Tillman's field experiment, not field experiment, long term field experiment. Okay. You have see the plots where you can see if you increasing the area, species richness increases, right? In a long term view, if you are completely applying those points to the ground, to the practical field, then you must know, okay, if you have a very stable species, okay, or you have higher number of species in a particular ground, okay, they should show very less minute amount of year to year productivity or year to year variation. Say you have a plot. I begin from the first, okay. The plot which says you have a very more species, higher number of species, great amount of a species. If a plot says nothing but more area, more species, right? Okay. Plots or area plots with more species, plots with the more species should show less variation or should show year to year less year to year variation, should show less year to year variation, If there will be a presence of more species in a particular ground, they are already adjusted to the habitat, right? When they are already adjusted to particular habitat where they are living in a comfortable life, then they should show very little amount of year to year variation or null amount of variation, okay. They should not show much greater amount of variation, because they should be very much stable, as well as they should be, they does not undergo much variation. That is what this sentence means out. The plots with more species should show, or they need to show the year to year less variation, not more variation, okay. The second point is, if you have a great amount of more and more species or increased diversity of species, nothing but increasing the number of more and more species, okay. If I have an increased diversity of a species, then there will be a great contribution in terms of productivity, okay. B, this point says that, okay, increased species diversity contribute increased species diversity contribute more productivity, This says, if I have a ground where I can see greater number of species diversity, nothing but more and more species, they should contribute more productivity. As the number of species increase, definitely the productivity increases. That is what they meant. More and more species diversity contribute more productivity in a particular ecosystem. This is about David Tilsman's long-term field experiment. I hope you understood this concept, David Tilsman long-term field experiment, right? You have understood, right? Okay. Let us see one more, then after I will wind up the class. Okay. Here we are going with the Rivet hypothesis. The Rivet hypothesis. Ready? Yes, the Rivet hypothesis. What this Rivet hypothesis states that? What exactly this hypothesis explaining about. We'll see. As you know, a aeroplane, it is a segregation of many parts, right? Segregation of many parts, right? Okay. These are all the parts are connected by rivets. Rivets, nothing but a bolt or a steel pin like that. Bolts, something like that. Rivets. Parts are connected with the bolts. So the aeroplane is made up of parts and connect with the rivets, bolts, like meaning like bolts or any kind of metal pin. Okay. Here they say if in an aeroplane, if these rivets are loosened up or somebody come here and loosen it out and taken to the home, what may happen? The aeroplane will very difficult to balance the things, right? One part if it is removed, one part is very much loosened because of the absence of rivet. Aeroplane cannot move very efficiently, cannot take off, right? Like the same, he is referring here aeroplane as ecosystem, rivets as a species. Okay. And even he says if the rivets are removed, nothing but the species are removed, there will be definitely a threat to the ecosystem. If the rivets is removed at the place of the wings of the aeroplane, definitely there will be a critical condition. Same that in an ecosystem, the ancient species, the traditional species, whatever living in a particular ground, in a particular habitat, what we are referring, if it is removed from the ground, the complete ecosystem may threatened up. It cannot further grow as it was grown in a past or a previous time. It is seriously injured. Here, the Rivet hypothesis says aeroplane is made up of many parts and held together by the rivet. The same thing, the ecosystem is made up of many species. If the rivets are removed from the aeroplane, then the aeroplane gets disturbed and cannot take off, or critically, it is injured. If critically this way the condition becomes the same way, if the species are removed from the ecosystem is vanish off. Okay, or seriously gets threatened up. That too, when the traditional species which are living in a particular ground, in a particular ecosystem is removed, then the ecosystem will be vanish off. That is what meant by the Rivet hypothesis. So this much is enough for you today. Fine, let us wind up the class. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Keep watching the class. Stay at home, stay safe, take care. Have a nice day.